Hey everyone, welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon, or
Hello,
good evening.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Salam. We're going to wait for a minute, and then we'll kick off this end of year meetup. Meanwhile, you can put in the chat where you are joining from. We have Wachu, who is joining. Well, she's one of our super connectors. You might have probably seen her in the community. Okay, we have Salam, who's joining from UK, and Mohammed. Hi, welcome. From Somalia. Nice to see you. Cool.
Nice.
Okay, I think we can.
Yeah, I think we can get started. Oh, I thought that was your music, Chris.
No, it wasn't my music. Someone else was having a nice party.
Alex is having a nice party. Okay. All right, so we'll get started slowly. Welcome everybody to our end of year meetup celebration. We're so happy to have you here, and I think there'll be more people trickling in over the next few minutes. So my name is Jen. If we haven't met already, I'm the community manager for ecomConnect. And we have Chris with us as well, who's my partner in crime. We take care of the community together. She works for the International Trade Center. And I also wanted to just highlight our super connectors. So we have Wachu, who's here, and a few more that are going to be coming in soon. Maya Shwar will be joining us. And I just wanted to take time to highlight them because they've been such a huge help in taking care of this wonderful community. They've been helping us, manage and grow the community. They've been engaging with you guys in there, like, welcoming people into the space. And their participation has made a huge difference in just the vibrancy and quality of the energy in the community and the resources being shared. So I just wanted to give them a little virtual high five. And also just let you guys know that the Super Connector program is something that is new. It's open for, you can apply to become a super connector if you want. And essentially what it is you sort of become like an ambassador for ecomConnect with us. And you support us with, promoting the events, strategizing some ideas for the communities. And, I see Maishwar actually just joining in here. And in exchange, we support you guys with your e-commerce business. We offer you some mentoring. You join some of our team meetings sometimes as we strategize and look at what's coming in the next months for the community. So it's a really great program. We're a nice tight-knit group. So I'm just going to put the link in the chat if you want to go see what the Super Connector program is. And if ever you would like to join, feel free to apply and we will be happy to have a conversation with you. So I'm going to let Chris take the stage and she's going to introduce our super inspiring guest. So Chris, go ahead.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks a lot. So welcome everyone again. Nice to see very well-known faces here in this end of year meetup. And also it's good to see new faces as well. Very happy that you are joining the community and our events too. So I also want to give a warm welcome to Elisa, who is here with us. I had the chance to meet her during one of our ITC projects in Central America. It was a 4 years project one of the countries involved in the project was Guatemala, where she is living right now. And she has an amazing story, an amazing business. And I'm really happy that she made the time to be with us today in this end of year event. So before introducing Elisa and letting her talk about her business and all the great partnerships she's worked in this year, I wanted to let you know that Jen and I were having a discussion the other day, and we were thinking about like how to organize this end of year event, like what topic to choose, right? And we decided to choose the word collaboration because we think that the community is meant for that. We want you to collaborate to get to know other entrepreneurs all around the world and grow your e-commerce business thanks to collaboration. And also because we've had a lot of great partnerships coming out of this community and of ITC projects. So in this session, we are going to mix two of our most popular events. So we have the Get Inspired part, which is going to be an interview with Elisa. And then we are going to have a Coffee and Connect part, which is more like a networking event where we are going to give you some also some news about next year and what you can do in the community and what you can do with ITC in 2022. So it will be great if you can stay until the end of the event so that you learn about all our next initiatives. So now, Elisa, happy to be with you again. How are you?
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So just to give you a few words about Elisa, but I want her to like talk more about her business herself. She is the founder of Itzawood, which is a social enterprise in Guatemala. And she's creating sustainable furniture and home decor with a tropical wood from one of the biggest jungles in Guatemala, the Petén jungle. And not only this, she's also helping artisans in rural areas, and especially women artisans to be empowered and to have even their own businesses. And this is what we wanted to talk about today, how she's collaborating with different stakeholders in this value, like great, sustainable and inclusive value chain that she's been creating this year. And also how we want her to explain how she's been able to spot different opportunities to grow her business. So Elisa, like we would like to know a bit more about Itzawood, about who you are as well as its founder, and why your business it's so different and so special.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, just to give you guys a little bit of backstory about me so you understand where I'm coming from and how we were able to start Itzawood. I'm Eliza, and I was born in the United States, but I grew up in Guatemala. So my parents moved the family to Guate when I was 7, and most of my life was spent here. And they have a school that they run and a lot of education programs for kids who don't have access to education. So I grew up sort of very immersed and surrounded by this NGO world, and also in very much of like an adventure lifestyle. We would bop between the rural jungle villages and then back to the city where I went to school and where my, friends and after school programs were and everything. And so we were always moving between what seemed in the eyes of a preteen, like very opposite worlds. And all of this, sort of this upbringing, contributed to 2 very key things for me. And one is that I see myself as a bridge, and adaptability runs really thick in my veins. And then I love the city. I consider myself a city girl, but just as much, I love the middle of the jungle, which is great because it's where I've been living for the past 6 years. So I thrive here too. So I see myself as a bridge. And then 2, personally, I have to work with impact. It's what fuels me. And I didn't discover that until my 30s. And I'm so happy that I finally landed in this world of social entrepreneurship. And there is just so much potential for business for good, which all of you, of course, know because you're working in that. And yeah, so from growing up in Guatemala, fast forward to college years, I moved back to the States, studied, career, had been living there for over 10 years, and was really searching for something new. I had sort of outgrown my workplace and I wanted to change directions and careers, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I took a trip to Latin America, which was sort of the spark for me because I hadn't really connected with my Latin roots as an adult, sort of on my own. And during that trip, my love for Latin America was ignited, and I saw very much firsthand the need and sort of the big chasm between, the well-off and people who were living in poverty, and just so much potential with the natural resources. So when I got back from that trip, my mother was coming back from a trip in Guatemala where she was visiting the school. And she just told me, Eliza, I think now is the time. I really want to start Itzawud. Itzawud was my mom's dream. She's always seen potential. She is the most visionary woman I know. And she had been asking herself for years, like, how can we use the natural resources to provide more employment opportunities for the students that are graduating, that want to stay in the area, that don't have access to jobs? And how can we set a good example of, using the natural resources in a very sustainable and responsible way? And so conversations with her, the stars just aligned, and I decided, okay, I need to move back to Guatemala. Now is the time. If I don't do it now, I probably never will. And I became very passionate about social business. And so I moved back to Guatemala 6 years ago, and I've been living in the jungle full time. And we started Itzawud, which, as Chris mentioned, we work home decor and tabletop items out of the native tropical woods from Petén. And we intentionally started designing sort of smaller product utensils, cutting boards, bowls, because we were designing around the offcuts that the lumber yards leave and they don't export. There's a huge lumber industry in Guatemala, especially in this area, but all the experience with gets exported right out of the country. And so we wanted to retain sort of a step in the transformation process and keep those jobs locally. And that's what we're trying to do. We are using only certified, we purchase all FSC certified woods. So our company has a very, very strong commitment to being triple bottom line. We measure our success based on the environmental impact we're having, the social impact we're having, how much we're giving back to education. And obviously, we have to be a business, we have to run. So there has to be some profit to reinvest into the company too. But that's our commitment, yeah. And that's sort of the backstory of why we got started, to really help kids that were graduating from the school, but now it's turned into something much larger than that. And we just see a lot of potential with the natural resource in the area. And
great. Yeah, I think you mentioned, I think you mentioned 3 things that are essential to your business to grow. They have been really essential, but also to most of the entrepreneurs right here, which is being able to adapt, right? Being visionary. You always need to have at least this medium term mindset to be a bit more strategic, and then be also passionate. And you have found your passion in Guatemala and also working with the social enterprise. Well, I think we lost.
Yeah, I think we lost.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's give her a minute to join. It's not always easy to connect from the jungle.
We'll give her a little bit of grace. For everyone who just arrived, I know a lot of people arrived while we were doing the interview. We are just doing an interview with...
Sorry.
Yeah, Lisa, no worries.
I'm so sorry, I'm back. Part of living in the middle of the jungle is having really crappy Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It's okay. I mean, here in Switzerland, it doesn't work much better. Oh, no worries.
Okay.
Okay, let me spotlight. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I was saying that you mentioned 3 very important factors for an entrepreneur, which is being able to adapt, being visionary, and then having passion. I think that really determines what an entrepreneur is. And it's good to hear how you started your business and how you are growing it. But I wanted to highlight this collaboration topic that I was mentioning at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you told us that this year you partnered with one of the biggest NGOs, environment NGOs in the world, let's say, but also working in Guatemala right now, which is Rainforest Alliances, and then a group of women artisans who live in rural areas in Guatemala. Could you tell us a bit more about this collaboration?
Yeah, definitely. So our vision and our goal isn't just to like help the students from the school, but really to see the communities prosper too. And we have the woodworking shop, and the majority, like 80%, is men that work with us. And so we were looking for opportunities to employ more women. And we just see potential everywhere, you know, in the leaves and the fibers. And we knew there was something we could do. But as a business, you can't do everything. You know, you can't be the NGO, you can't do the city development, you can't. So it's really important to have those key partners to work with. And Rainforest Alliance had heard about our little company and everything we were doing, and had approached us. And we're just really impressed with the bridges we have been able to create into the market for the community here, and for our workers. So they asked us, they said, hey, we're wanting to focus on women too. And I think that's something key when, you know, seeking out partners and strategic alliances, is that your mission and your vision really aligns. And so we were both trying to have an impact with, you know, a different demographic with women. What they asked us to do basically was to set up a training program and to develop product. They said, go out into the jungle and figure out what can these women work with. And so that's exactly what we did. We had many meetings with women in 3 villages along the route where we are. We talked to them, we figured out their needs, we figured out what they were able to do, what their skills were. And then we put together a program. It's really important for us to have those NGO partners, because at Itzawud as a business, you know, we can't fund training programs for communities, but Rainforest Alliance can. And I've always been a huge fan as a kid of those like connect the dot games where, you know, at the end of it, you come up with a beautiful picture. And that's precisely what we did. We said, okay, Rainforest Alliance has this resource. We're both wanting to have the same impact in the community. We have this resource. We also worked with a local NGO that does education. And so they had a resource too. And all 3 of us came together. We put together a 6-month training program for the women. We hired the skilled abuelos, the grandfathers in the different towns that still knew the weaving techniques that they used to use a long time ago that are sort of dying. And then we all went out into the jungle and found the natural resource and did a lot of research, did a lot of investigating, did a lot of trial and error. And we had 6 months of training with the women. We started with a group of 30 women. And it was very holistic. So, you know, we did sales training, we did business, we did empowerment for them. And then we also did the skills training. And Itzawud's part was to design a product line. And we kind of oversaw the whole program, but we worked very closely with the partnership of Rainforest and Hearts in Action. And so by the end of the training program, they had learned a new skill. They had worked on these new designs for us. And we had established them as their own association, so as their own business. And Itzawud became their best client because they were working on our designs the whole time. And so as soon as we've concluded the program, we were able to launch the new line we call it Fibras. And because Itzawud already had sort of the platform and the clients in the States, we were able to begin sales almost immediately. I remember they received their first order was from a client, a store in New York that I had really wanted to work with for Itza Wood, for the wooden product, for a long time. And they ended up ordering the fibers line, which I was thrilled about. But I was also very impressed because it's a very well-known store. And
that's
so,
amazing. It's like another dot connected to your picture.
Connecting another dot, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the women have had steady work for the past 6 months, pretty much. And there's a learning curve, but it's this wonderful new sort of avenue of business for them. We were also able to work with Rainforest Alliance to get certain fibers from the jungle like certified, so that we can be exporting them without any problems. And that's where, those alliances and those partnerships are really key.
That's amazing. I have a question now that you told how Rainforest Alliance approached you. Like, how did they know that you were looking for opportunities for women? How were you like networking?
Yeah, we have a friendship. So we,
Okay.
yeah, it's a very large area, but it's not highly populated. And so, I had reached out to them. We've had many meetings before we actually kicked off the project. Like, we've probably been, networking, I guess you could say, or like building our ecosystem for, 2 years before we ever launched this project with them. And through that, there have been many conversations about what we're passionate about and where we want to have an impact in the communities and where we see potential. And so, yeah, it definitely isn't something that just happened overnight, one meeting quick, and then we launched the training program. But it's been a relationship that we've been nurturing for a couple of years. Yeah. And they've helped us with stuff in the wood workshop too. So we have a working relationship together.
Amazing. Yeah, that's great. Now, well, you mentioned that one key element, one advice that you would give to entrepreneurs is to have the same passion, the same vision as your partners, which makes complete sense. Now, if you want to work with someone, you have to be aligned. But what else should an entrepreneur consider when building a partnership?
Yeah. Sorry, got distracted by a four-wheeler that just went by.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely being aligned is super important, right? But also get creative. Like, just because maybe the nonprofit isn't in the exact same area of business, like Rainforest Alliance is very much in conservation, and some people would see, woodworking as the opposite thing, but really empowering the communities to find value in the forests and to want to protect them because their livelihood comes from them is where conservation sort of lies in this area, in this day and age. So get creative and in connecting those dots, but alignment is important. And then just really getting out there and networking, making yourself known. I think for me personally, I've had to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like, who am I to talk to the mayor and just put your heart out there and your passion out there and your business ideas out there, because the more you get it out there, the more people are going to know, and those, stars will begin to align, and you'll find those commonalities. And follow up, obviously, is super huge, because these big NGOs are working way larger projects than probably what we're, doing with them. So don't be afraid to voice, to make your voice known, right? And to be consistent in that follow-up and communication and really nurture the relationship.
Yeah, great. Yeah, really specific tips, which are very useful. And we always have a similar question in our events that entrepreneurs ask, and it's like how to find a balance between making a profit and making an impact in a business. Like, in your case, did you prioritize one before the other one, or could you like achieve them at the same time?
Yeah, and no, that's I think for many people that's tricky, and it's definitely a paradigm shift in the way that you think, but they need to go together. And if they're not able to work together and to grow together, then there's an imbalance, right? And something's off. Obviously, making a profit is important for the sustainability of the business. And that's where our business plan is tied to our impact. So like I said, we measure our success in the 3 areas, whether we're making profit, super important, can't function without that, what type of impact we're having in the environment and also in the communities. So for us, they really go together. It's also probably why our growth has been very slow and organic. That's sort of been an on-purpose decision. We've grown very slow and very organically, but it's because we want to have that really solid base so that when we do scale larger, we know that our impact is being scaled too.
Okay.
Yep.
That takes me to my last question, which I mean, you already answered. No, it was about if it was possible to make profit quickly while having a sustainable and impactful business. But I guess it's from what you just said and from the experience I've had with other entrepreneurs, it's really difficult to have a big growth all of a sudden if you want to be sustainable and have a strong impact in the communities or in the environment. So I guess it's good to have this solid base that you were talking about and then scale.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely been, our experience and the way we've done it, sort of our strategy. I think it's very specific to where you are. We're in a very rural, sort of disconnected area. And so infusing a ton of money to scale something hugely here, it just isn't going to work. We're talking about cultural differences and lack of infrastructure and some of the most basic things. And I do think that there are some good examples of companies there that are able to have just amazing scale impact. And I admire them, but for our specific area, this has been the way to do it. And so, take a look at the companies that you admire and you look up to and sort of follow their example. And if anyone has any great ideas for me of how to sort of scale sales and profitability that you've seen done elsewhere in this sort of the same thing we're working in, please shoot me an email because I'd love to hear that too. But for us, it's been organic growth.
Great. Yeah, Lisa, thanks a lot. I don't know if anyone from the audience has a question. I think we've listened to a great story, an example to inspire all of us, for sure. But it's always good to share knowledge. So I don't know if you have any question. You can put it in the chat or unmute yourself. It might be also easier.
Elisa, what does ITSA mean?
Yeah, so ITSA, thanks. Good question. ITSA is the name of the lake that we're around in the jungle. It's called Itza Lake. And then it's also the last Mayan ethnic group that lives here. So it represents the people in the place. And that's what the company's all about.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful area, beautiful place and people. Anyone else?
Yeah, I could have a go. That's okay.
Yeah, of course, please.
You may not have the question right, the answer right away, but what's the difference between a social enterprise and a profitable company? Because after all, a social enterprise also makes an acceptable profit. So how would you define it? Where is the difference between the two?
Yeah, so for us, social enterprise, like I was talking about earlier, profit's important, but impact is just as important. And so our success has to be in both areas, impact and profit.
Yeah, exactly. And then the profit is also used to invest in this impact, right? And scale it up.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. That's huge. So all of our profit that isn't reinvested back into the company for growth, it's invested into the community, into educational programs, into the school, into anything that we want to help out in the community.
Great. Yeah, I think Elisa, you need to leave, right? Or you can or still answer to one question.
Sure, I'll do one more question. Yeah.
Because I think Wallace, she raised her hand. I don't know if you want to speak up.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually was trying to ask a question about how you do marketing. Is that through e-commerce you sell to regional market or only the local market, regional market or international market? How do you feel doing international e-commerce? Thank you, Over.
So thanks, Wallace. We tested all our product first a couple of years in the regional market, so just nationally, until we sort of figured things out. And then our strategy was to export because there are better margins. The wood is appreciated more. We're able to sell it for what it's really worth internationally. And we started by participating in trade shows. So we do a lot of sales to smaller boutiques, kitchen stores, wholesale. And then thankfully we had the opportunity to work with ITC last year, and we were able to launch our e-commerce. So now we're doing all three things. We sell in Guatemala, but probably 80% of our sales are export, and we do direct to consumer as well.
Great, thank you. Lisa needs to go, but it was great having you in the call. We will share with all of you her links to her website and also social media channels so that you can have a look and also get write her if you need any other explanation or you want to share something with her. So yeah, thanks so much, Lisa.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was great, and good luck, the best of luck for your business. I'm still going to follow you for many years for sure. So
gracias.
Thank
All
you.
Right. Cheers.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you. Great. So now that this first part of the session is over, we're going to start with the second part, and I let Jen explain what we're going to do next.
Yes. So I just popped the links in the chat for Elisa's website and social media. This was a really, really great, inspiring session. I love her story.
Yeah.
So we're going to move into just some kind of fun, connecting activities together. And also we want to ask you guys some questions about your experience in the community, what you'd like to see next year. So we're going to kind of open up the room for discussion. So first, I would encourage you, if you can, if it's possible, to turn on your camera. That would be really great, because when we move into the connecting and getting to know each other, it's really nice to put a face to a name. So if you are able to, it'd be great to see you. Nice, we're already seeing some people. That's wonderful. If you don't have a really great connection and you can't, it's totally fine. So we're going to do a little icebreaker activity, which should be fun. One of my favorite games. We've done it on a Coffee and Connect before, and it's called Would You Rather? And it's one of the most excruciating games ever, because you have to make a choice between answer A and answer B. You cannot choose both, and it also excruciating in a fun way. It also gives us a chance to get to know each other a little bit better. So you can use the chat to share your answers, and we'll just go through a couple of fun questions, warm up our connecting and networking muscles, and then we will have a little bit more of an open chat. Okay, so the first question we have for you is, if you were to choose another time to live in, so I don't know, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, who knows, what time would that be and why? So this is not a if or, this is like a more of an open-ended question. So if there is a time you would like to live in, which time and why? You can put it in the chat. I mean, I guess you can also, for this question, if anyone wants to unmute and share, we can unmute and share that one.
I don't know if Elisa wants to participate because you're muted and we don't hear you. Elisa? Maybe she's in another call.
Okay. Renaissance. There was a lot of beautiful art being made. Ooh, I agree, Wachu. I agree. I remember studying the Renaissance era when I was in interior design.
The 90s, because I would have grown with the boom of the internet. Yeah.
Oh,
that would be a good transition also to understand where we are at right now.
Oh, Maishwar, at 23 years old to make better decisions for my life. I think we could all probably do that. I would say I've always the 50s. I don't know why. It's just the music,
Yeah. Same here. I also had the same thought.
Yeah, the 50s?
Yes, because India got their independence in 1947. So that was kind of a, very important period for us.
Yeah, yeah. Salam also says 1950, simplicity of life. I agree. I agree. Although, I don't know if you guys have watched the show Outlander. It's like one of my favorite shows. I would love to be able to just like go through the stones back and forth. That would be fun. Okay, Chris, what about you?
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm not sure. I think maybe the 80s, because they have like really good music in the 80s as well. And it's also a time of very big changes in Europe, where I have grown up. And like the fall of the wall of Berlin, for instance, so all this, political changes. And yeah, all this transition to like better, let's say better, like more rights in each country, for people. So I would have loved to participate in a more like fight for your rights part. Yeah.
I see you doing that. Doris says the best time to live is now. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Love it.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Is there anyone else that wants to share before we move on to the next question? No? We have someone that says today because I can back to 90, 80, 70.
Yeah, now you have more knowledge now about what happens, so you can decide.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on.
I can share.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
If I wasn't born, but I would like to go back to the 60s of Lebanon, because I'm from Lebanon. I would love to know about the country we're all the time being told about how amazing it was, because since I was born, we lived in struggles and political unrest, war, everything. Although we have an amazing country, but we need more rest in this part of the world. So I would like to go back at that time. We had less corruption at that also.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So, and I would like the 80s period for the music too. But Chris, I thought you're younger than that. So I wonder.
I'm younger.
You know,
Yeah, that's why.
music.
That's why I'm saying that I would like to
like the
that.
music.
I'm from the 90s. So.
No, but I like the 80s.
You're so young, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not that young.
Someone else said, I love this, in the 80s, because adulting is hard. I have to agree, adulting is hard. One of my favorite quotes is, adulting is like trying to fold a fitted sheet. It's like one of my favorite quotes ever, because I don't know if you've ever tried to fold a fitted sheet, the one that has round corners. Put on
yeah.
It's like impossible to fold. And sometimes adulting feels impossible. So
yeah, it's a nice metaphor. I like it.
Right? Yeah, nice. Thanks for sharing, Elisa.
Yeah, my pleasure.
These were good questions. Okay, so I'm gonna be a little bit harder on you guys now. Now it's like a one or the other. You have to make a choice. So if you had the chance to collaborate with an influencer, would you prefer to collaborate with Elon Musk or Oprah?
Well, I would go with Oprah.
Okay. I'm the Oprah club too.
Me too.
Yeah. Oprah, okay. Yeah, you can pop it in the chat if you want. Oh, my schwar, Oprah. I agree, I think. I mean, it could be fun, you know, a little bit of both, but since it's would you rather, you have to choose one or the other.
Yeah, I would also go for Oprah, I think, for two reasons. I think it's good to have a women leader sometimes.
Yes.
And also, she's put a lot of investment into supporting millennials.
Mhm.
And I'm part of that generation, so I feel more, let's say, identified with them.
Yeah, she opened a wonderful school in Africa and she mentors so many young women. It's incredible.
Yeah, we have a winner, Oprah.
Woohoo. All right. We should let her know. We should send her this recording.
Exactly.
Okay. If you could spend a week in the life of a successful business, so you get to go into the business behind the scenes, see how this successful business is run, would you prefer to spend a week not working but observing in Amazon or Uber?
Amazon.
And why, Preeti? Why?
Yeah, Amazon.
Because I'm amazed at the precision of delivery, market performance, monitoring in every aspect, whether it's procurement or real-time monitoring of deliveries or, even market access, identifying prospects, new sellers. So, that's a whole lot of analytics. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's so true. And would anyone choose Uber? Because I see a lot of Amazon in the chat.
Yeah.
And Uber, well, it's not only about taxi service, it's also about delivering last mile, which is also really good, and connecting small businesses as well.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I have this intuitive feeling that like working for Uber is fun, like being in the offices is fun. So I'd be curious to see that. But I'd also be really curious. I think I would choose Amazon because kind of like what Preeti said, I would be curious to see the contrast between the high quality customer service that we receive as customers versus what we hear about the work environment. Because even when you talk to someone at Amazon, they are extremely nice and polite and helpful. And so, yeah, I'd be curious to see that contrast, like what is actually happening behind the scenes versus what we experience as customers.
Yeah, exactly, because they are so customer centered that everything they do is for the customer is great, but what about the employer, the employee? So
the employee.
Yeah, so that would be good to experience as well.
Yeah. Anyone else before we move on to the next question? No? Okay. Last one. Tomorrow morning, you wake up and you have $1 million in your bank account. Would you have wanted to make that $1 million or win that $1 million?
Make.
Okay. Make what you make. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I see that everyone here is very puts a lot of effort into what you do. That's great.
Yeah. In the last session I did this in, somebody said, a couple of people said, "Win, I'm so tired of striving. I just want someone to give me $1 million." Oh, okay. Yes. I can repeat the question. So if tomorrow morning you have $1 million in your bank account, do you want to have won that $1 million or made that $1 million? Oh, Mariam says win.
Win and make 10 times.
Yeah, exactly. Mohammed says make, because making the next million would be the simplest thing to do. Probably. I mean, if you wait to win $1 million, but okay, very nice. All right. So thank you so much for participating. This was really fun and interesting to get to know everybody. Okay, so Chris and I want to talk to you a little bit about just what's coming next year. And we'd like to hear a little bit from you guys as well. So one of where we're going to be putting our top priority next year is in partnerships. So we really want to partner with, communities and organizations that can participate in events with us, bring their communities in with us. So like doing like this collaborating, cross-connecting with partners and communities. So that's where we're going to be focusing our attention next year. And essentially, what that's going to create for all of you guys is more engagement, more interactions, more rich experiences. I think the more we bring people in from different communities, the more learning potential there is. So that is where we're going to be focusing our time and attention. If you know of any great partners for ecomConnect and you'd like to share them with us or connect us with them, please feel free to let us know. You can either message us privately in ecomConnect, or you can also send us an email. I don't know, Chris, if you can pop the email in the chat where they can reach out to us.
Yeah, definitely. I'll put it right now.
Yeah, if you're part of another community that think would be a great fit for like a partnership with us, we're really open to hearing about that. So the email is in the chat as well. And finally, what we would love to do is just open up the stage to hear from you guys. What would you like to see in the community next year? What kind of events? What kind of activities? What would you like to see more of? Where do you need more support in your business? That maybe like that could help us kind of curate some things towards that. So feel free to unmute and let us know, or share it in the chat, whatever you prefer.
Would you like to have more events like webinars, more networking events, more meetups, other kind of content?
Networking would be good. And also connecting with, buyers for our particular segment. So you could design something sector-wise, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like how we have She Trades events around certain sectors. So that could be a little more focused.
Okay, perfect.
So helping you connect more directly to your needs for your business. Helping you connect more directly to what you need for the needs of your business in that moment. Okay. One of the events that we, so a lot of people are saying networking. One of the events that we're working on creating for you guys next year is an event that would be sort of a mix of networking and problem solving. So where we come together and, people share like a pain point or something they're stuck with. And then we come in and help, find solutions, connect to resources and stuff like that. So we would, create some networking opportunities and also some support. So someone just said support and networking.
Great.
Yeah, that's a good.
Anything
yeah, I can
else?
see that you're looking for a lot of matchmaking events, which makes sense because we also want to use a platform to promote your business more. So we're also working on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is there anything else that you would like to share?
I just wanted to mention this important bit that Jen talked about, collaborations. So in this call, we have an example from Moms in Business Association. there was John Allen, who is also in the call, who talked to us about this association. And this is an example of also businesses who we can collaborate with and who can bring, you know, other, in this case, women into the community to like grow and be able to share more knowledge and stories.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we're saying it's so helpful when someone says like, hey, I know this amazing community and I think it would be a really good match. So please don't be shy.
Yeah.
I think someone unmuted to say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, a little bit, Mohammed. Not, your voice is a little bit low, but we can hear you a bit.
Thank you. So I was thinking maybe if we could have like a challenge here, like 100 days of coding, something like that, but a little bit different, but 100 days in business, maybe like a challenge like 3 months business sales that you have made, maybe, or something about advertising, how we can make more sales for the e-commerce businesses that we are doing, something like that. Or maybe the competition that we have had like last year about the 3 businesses. I don't know if you remember, something like that. It would be very interesting.
Yeah, I love that idea. I think we were actually talking about this a little while back, creating a challenge of some sorts in the community, because one, it focuses our attention on something. It creates a really nice energy of like everyone coming together with the same intention. And then it also helps us move towards our goals. So yes, I love that idea, Mohammed. Noted. I think we could do something like that.
Thank you. And what do you feel about it, like a mentoring program? Do you find this kind of programs interesting, to have a mentor who guides you like in a specific topic on e-commerce or leadership, and or become a mentor as well?
Yeah.
It will help us a lot, mentorship, but you know, mentorship it need to be a little longer. Longer means not for 1 month or 2 months. If it is for 6 months, so that mentor can have a journey with us and can understand us thoroughly, and what are our weaknesses. Those can be sorted out. The market we are operating, maybe number of markets we are operating, which market goes better with us right this moment, and which is not that much good. We need to mature ourselves or organize ourselves more, that mentor can assist us thoroughly, and moreover developing a team whom we can delegate. That is the biggest challenge we are facing. I'm Afsana from Bangladesh. I'm facing a lot of problem with delegation, because the young generation like they don't want to stay for longer period of time in the organization. So whatever we are teaching or whatever they are learning, and later on they want to move on. So it's very difficult how to retain them, how to motivate them, how to make them give them the leadership, transfer the authority. These kind of things needed very much.
Yeah,
I think.
great point. Yeah, it's not just about technical or hard skills, right? Also soft skills, and this is very, very important.
Yeah, this is a really, really great point, because I think that building your team and sustaining your team, and even learning how to manage your team is a big piece. I actually think that I have a speaker for this, Chris. So don't let me forget. I think I have someone who could come in and potentially give a Ask the Expert session on this. That would be really helpful.
Cool.
And she has a really, really fantastic hiring process. So yeah, we will try to bring her in. And a lot of people are saying mentorship in the chat. Everyone's agreeing on the mentorship. So I think that we can definitely work towards something like that. And I agree that it needs to be over a certain period of time, so that you have time to grow with the person.
Okay, good.
Anything else? sorry, I'm just, there's another event happening at the same time with us, but I think it's fine, right, Christina, since we're on two different. Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, so fantastic. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, so this, we would really love your participation here, so we can unmute and open up our videos. We would love to hear from you guys if you have anything to share with us, and we're going to give you a minute to just think about it. Since you've been in ecomConnect, if you have any success stories to share with us about how maybe the community or platform has helped you, how potentially another member in the community has helped you. So if there's been some collaborations and partnerships that have happened that have helped you with your business or learn or grow. I know we do have some really great stories of just some mentorship that has happened very organically without us even having a program. So is there anyone that would like to share, just to let us know any successes you've experienced so far?
Well, not directly with ecomConnect, but yes, through ITC platform. There have been a couple of events like Good Trade Summit and of course She Trades. So through that, I've got a couple of leads and that have converted, and just working on a couple of more deals.
Great. And what do you think, Preeti, what do you think was the factor that helped you experience those successes with She Trade and ITC?
Well, it was a business relationship, and of course personal as well. So we connected at various levels, and after a physical meeting, the interaction continued over virtual platforms, and that strengthened the relationship. And so we ended up having a bilateral trade relationship where we both gave businesses to each other and got each other clients. So that was one reason, how it progressed. And of course, the Good Trade Summit also gave us a couple of leads, and we're just working on one requirement. So we will be closing that shortly.
Okay, great. I think this is a really good point, and it's similar to what Elisa was just sharing in the interview, is like the importance of building relationships, but like giving the relationships time to grow, like it's not looking for those quick successes when you're collaborating or looking for partnerships, but really taking the time to nurture the relationship, and then it can grow into something really sustainable that can help you a lot in the future. So thank you for sharing. John. Hi.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thanks. Great. Just a few after session links, which have actually led to places. We had a good time with my wife and I with Bosun in Nigeria. Maheshwar, we had an interchange with and some sharing of knowledge together. Eric from Singapore, we've got him set up. He's setting his software up, because with our program in South Africa, where we're helping people grow food and feed people, his program is we're going to look at it in January to see how people can sell that food to others. So there's a link up there. MJ out of Cape Town, we're now in contact, and she's looking at helping us create a new chapter for Abalusi. So yeah, we had some fun and games during the year, thanks to you guys. And also the connection with women in business, it was that we're still waiting for you guys to give a talk to. So yeah, to use it and we started real slowly, but it was really, really pleasant, and there's lovely people on board to listen to and so on. And you had some great talks, right, during the year. Well done.
Thank you so much, John. You've been an incredible mentor and connector in the community, and it's been so nice to see this happening. So thank you so much for sharing. We have to close off the session because there's another session waiting to begin, and we have a little bit of an overlap. But if you have any other success stories that you would like to share with us, please feel free to email us or send us a message in ecomConnect. We just love hearing them. It's really helpful also for us to know what is helping and you know, anything that you guys have achieved, milestones. And you can also share this on our Friday post in the community every Friday. We encourage you to share anything about your business, milestones, successes, and stuff like that as well. Chris, is there anything you want to close off with?
No, I just wanted to add to this email testimonial. It would be great for us to know about that, because then we can also help you promote the business. So in the end, it's a win-win, because we learn about what's useful for you. We can always, use this to like show how the platform can be useful and grow, and at the same time help you promote the business organically through ITC. So yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone. As the topic today was on collaboration, again, if you want to collaborate with us somehow, we have the Super Connectors program, we have the partnerships program, and if you have any other idea, we'll be happy to listen. And next year we'll kick off with new cool stuff. So just a big clap for everyone here in the call. Congrats for this journey this year. I know it's been hard for many businesses, but keep it up.
Yeah, everyone's doing great. And our doors are wide open, so don't be shy to reach out to Christina or I in the community.
Thank you.
Right,
have a good new year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.